I want to also say, and I think we need to give kudos where kudos is due, that our technology partner in Jamaica, Flow,
Yes.
worked with us.
Yeah. Flow and Digicel worked.
Flow and Digicel, our technology partners, yes, they worked with us. We told them what we needed, we told them our timelines, and they were able to ensure that everything was in place.
Because it's massive movements of data.
It's data.
Up and down, up and down.
I'm telling
between
you.
ourselves and Canada. I think they had to open the pipeline.
Yes, they had to.
Open the pipeline.
And I recall having numerous conversations with the head
of Flow
and Digicel to make sure that everything would work, and particularly because it was a holiday weekend. I mean, I was talking to a particular person in Flow who was not in Jamaica at all, but who got his team in place and so on. So that is a major occurrence. And when we opened to the members,
they went in the line, did a transaction and left.
So if they didn't know we had done this major operation, they wouldn't.
Nobody knew. They looked at the invoice and the invoice
looked a little different.
Yes. But that's the only thing what they knew.
The receipts looked different, and
invoice
had more information for them. Yes.
But other than that, they left.
Yeah.
They checked the balances and there were agreements with SAME and everybody would move. But what did the system do to us?
Yes.
The system now put us on a part of digital transformation.
Talk to me about that.
We are now able, because we now have a modern system, we can now integrate the system in all those wonderful things that we see happening. So therefore, in terms of us now being able for persons to have a mobile app on their phone where they can check their balances, right? That can be done now. They can transfer money from outside of COK right on their phone. They can transfer between COK accounts right on their phone. They can do several things now what they weren't able to do in the past. And the services, and as we go forward, we're just going to be rolling out more and more services.
Yes.
For the members.
Yes.
Because that's in terms of COVID. COVID caused, I think, a transformation of how persons interacted with financial institutions. Right? The days of standing in the line for 1 hour and these long lines, I think, have passed. And now they want services at their convenience. Right?
And we provide that.
And we now provide that.
I get an email on a Monday morning that tells me what is the status of my various accounts at COK. We weren't able to do that before.
No, we weren't.
And I can now just bring up my COK
app on your phone?
App on my phone and log into it.
Yeah.
Put in my my password, and then there's a second level of an image, a second level that I have to agree with before I can go any further. So I don't really need to do anything here, and we're connected with the other financial institutions. So you can, as you say, you can move
the funds out
of another institution to us, and from COK to the other institution.
And let me tell you, we're available both on the Google Play Store and the Android. You now have full control of your accounts at COK. You now can see on a daily basis your loan balances. You can see in terms of your deposit balances. You can have control. And that is something in terms of planning, because you can see all the transactions what have passed through your account. So if you use your debit card with COK, as soon as you use that debit card, the account is updated, you can see what has happened. So therefore, if you want to turn off your debit card, you just go to our app and you can turn off the debit card. Suppose, unfortunately, people lend their debit cards out. Not supposed to do that.
Don't do that, please. Don't do that.
But you can actually limit the person. If you give it, you can actually put in a limit that the person can withdraw more than X out of your card. You know, you can do different things with your card.
All using your mobile phone.
All using your mobile phone.
Yes.
So therefore,
And if you have an Access card, let us say you have the Access Plus card and you need cash. Most people don't have cash. You know what I discovered? Coming to town on Monday, I had to borrow money to pay the toll because I did not have the money to pay the toll. I borrowed the money from a driver to pay the toll. I don't walk with cash, so I only use cash as I need it. And the Access Plus card linked to your account, you can use any ATM to get cash or any point of sale. Your Access card becomes a debit card.
a debit card.
Yes.
And that is something what we have had previously, even before this new core banking system. But what we say is now that you have control over the Access card and you have more security in using it.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? And that has been a great feature coming out of the system. But what else comes out of the system? You know what I mean? In terms of on the other ends of the system, we can now reach our members easier in terms of how the database is organized. We can have greater, I think, in terms of communication with members. We can now bring on other layers, as we mentioned before, of different things in terms of we're now looking at payment management. We're looking at you applying for a loan using your internet banking or your app. We're looking for various areas to just make the whole member experience more, what I want to say, what's the good word?
Well, these days, most people, especially the younger people, they don't want to have to go into an institution and join a line. So if they want a loan, they can go onto the COK page and they can fill out the forms. And all they need to, and they can upload the supporting documents, and they would only need to come in and sign when the time comes. And that is what I know that the younger people have said, that they are glad that we have this facility.
And it will only get better. I can assure you.
It will only get better because we do have the technology that will allow that.
It only will get better.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about is that notwithstanding the technology that we have, we still maintain our good relationship with our members. So if they want to come in, they can come in. We are never going to say we don't accept cash.
No.
We're never going to say we charge you to pay the cash.
No, that's not the COK.
Right. So the ethos, the way how we deal with our members is what I want you to talk about now.
You see, people don't realize, you know what I mean? When you come into COK, you not only you get a private banking experience when you come into COK, because you have persons there who will sit down and work through whatever financial challenges you have and offer you solutions. So therefore, you're not left to the wind. When you come to COK, you become a member of COK, you're part of our family. And being part of that family, we all have responsibilities towards you, and you have responsibilities towards us. And so therefore, as a family member, we sit down and give you good financial advice.
I have interviewed 2 members, Mr. Smith, and let me tell you, they talk about the service that they get from the staff. And in fact, call names of the staff members who they deal with and talk about the service that they get and how they feel when they come in. I mean, I know that sometimes in the banking hall, when it gets overcrowded and people might have to wait a little bit, sometimes you hear a little raised voice and so on, but we try our best.
We do.
To make sure that it moves along quickly.
And we're going to see, as any financial institution, we're going to try different methods of service delivery. All right? Even in the banking hall, we're going to see how we can improve that over time to lessen the impact. Because a lot of our members, and this is the biggest challenge we have in terms of service to our members, a lot of them do not wish to go on our online platform.
That's the point I want to make.
They don't want to go on the platform. And I have to empathize with them. Before I became a staff member at COK, COK was the place where I put the money for defensive saving, what I call the money I didn't want to spend. Because you would have to call me over here. The staff will ask you, so what you're doing now? So therefore, once you had your money over at COK, you know your money is safe. And so therefore, anytime you need it, you can come back in the future. But you just didn't feel like you didn't want total access to it.
Yes.
Because that was the little pin, the money you're putting down. All right? You're putting down for whatever rainy day.
The relationship we have with our members is important. I think that is what sets us apart from a number of other financial institutions. Do you have the experience that I have where anywhere I go, somebody's going to come up and says, I'm a COK member?
Well, they recognize your face. They recognize my shirt.
Okay, but still, it is there. It is there. I'm a COK member.
I'm a COK member. How do I join this?
Or how do I join? If yes.
Therefore, I have my card ready at hand, and I give it to them.
Good. Yeah.
Right? So therefore, they can get all the information. Once they give me their contact information, I have someone or staff members reach out to them almost immediately, based on the branch they're closest.
They're closest to. That is what
we have branches in Montego Bay. We have branches in Mandeville, Portmore, right here in Crossroads in Kingston, and then we have one at Winchester.
Halfway tree. Yes.
Winchester.
Yes.
So therefore, wherever they are closer to, you know what I mean, I just direct them to a staff in that branch so they can get the necessary services they need.
In fact, I do that when people reach out to me, and they do, on every single social media platform. My first question, if it's not somebody who I know and they want to do business, they say, okay, which is the closest branch to you? So I know where to send you and who to send you with, depending on what it is that you want to do. So tell me something now, Mr. Smith. How is it that we get our staff to be so responsive to the members?
Well, first of all, it starts with from their joining the institution. The whole training exercise we give them, speaking not only to the systems that they're going to be using, but to the credit union culture, the credit union ethos, as you said. And so they to understand that they're now moving into not only just a financial institution, but a member-based service institution. And so therefore they come and join that culture. And the culture is there. And let me tell you, it is until you go to annual staff meeting at COK, you don't know how strong the culture is in terms of persons feeling very supportive, the members of staff feeling that this institution belongs to them, you know, as members themselves of the institution. They want to see the best for COK, and they give the best to COK.
And you have to talk about training.
Yes.
Because years ago, COK made a decision that we would close on a Wednesday afternoon, close early, so that time can be used for staff training.
And that is still.
Tell me how
still happening. Every Wednesday we close a little early, and then we have training exercises. And we have training exercises, sometimes in-branch training exercises. Sometimes I have a general staff meeting within whole staff to go through important points, what have come up. And so therefore, the communication between myself, my office, and the staff is there. We always have this in place, and that helps a lot, right? Even with all of those training exercises and all of those things what happened, we do other things. So we do a whole heap of staff development to ensure that the staff understands not only the processes and the procedures of working in the financial institution, and so therefore they understand what they're doing. And based on just the general culture, because you come here, it is a matter of service. We're here to serve.
We're here to serve. And before a staff member is put on the line, wherever they're going to work, whichever department they're going to work, they spend a number of days getting acclimatized. And it doesn't matter what level you're coming in, because we recently had a new lawyer come in. And I recall calling to say where he was and so on. And he was
In training.
in training, just like anybody who comes in as a clerk.
Everybody has to pass through the process.
Yes, yes.
Right? So therefore you get the credit union training.
Yes.
So you get the understanding. So therefore when you come and you're now a part and you understand that you have now become a part of this family. Right? Okay. And so therefore that feeds back over into the membership experience. Can the membership experience be improved? Working on that daily.
Yes.
See how we can improve it.
Always have to.
We always have to, and we always have to check back with our members. Where do they see where we're not doing what we need to do? Because that sort of feedback is extremely important. Membership satisfaction is extremely important for us to move forward.
So you have membership satisfaction surveys.
Yes, we are going to implement that again. We had it before, and we think we're going to have to run another one this year. Ensure that we bring in terms of having identified membership. But what we do now is that we have boxes across each branches. So if we have a comment, complaint, whatever it is, criticism, whatever it is, compliment, you have a comment box there. You can drop the message, the message.
And those comments go where?
They go right to our supervisor.
Yes.
All right.
So
They're not-
and explain to those persons who are watching us, what is the supervisory committee?
Okay, so therefore, in terms of the operations of the credit union, the first layer of the credit union, the highest level of the credit union is the member, and that is through the annual general meeting. And then the members actually elect a board of directors, and at the same time in the general meeting, they elect what is called a supervisory committee and a credit committee. The supervisory committee is like the internal auditors of the credit union. They have to ensure that all the policies, procedures of the credit union, good governance practices of the credit union, good risk management practices of the credit union, all of them are being met, and therefore, and they report on those matters to the board to ensure that those things are in place. So the supervisory committee is, I think at one in our rules, the supervisory committee can fire the board.
Yes.
They can fire the board. So that has a degree of independence totally from the board.
And then you mentioned the credit committee.
Credit committee, no. The credit committee is the committee where has the final say-so on loans in the credit union. So therefore, after you go through the loan adjudication, you pass through the branches, right up through our processes, it is at credit committee they're ratified and finalized.
And then you talk about the board.
And the board is responsible for all the policy decisions within the organization. All right? The policy decisions within the organization, and they set the tone of the whole entire organization. All right?
And just to say, any member of the credit union can become a volunteer.
And we're looking for volunteers.
I wanted to get to that point.
Looking for volunteers.
We're always
looking for volunteers.
Because at every annual general meeting, the membership decides who will be members of the board, who will be members of the credit committee, who will be members of the supervisory committee. And before the annual general meeting, we send out notices inviting persons
to come back
to apply for any of those positions. And we have a nominating committee which looks at these applications, and provided they look for certain skills that might be necessary at a particular point in time.
So true.
Yes. So like, for example, we look for persons who have skills in auditing, for example, for the accounting, marketing, credit,
yes,
management, because these persons then now get involved,
Attorneys.
and we'd look for lawyers too. Yes. In fact, I joined COK volunteer corps as a lawyer.
Okay.
In at the time what was called the delinquency committee,
Okay.
which was a subcommittee of the board. Not one of the statutory committees like the board, supervisory and credit. This was just a subcommittee that the board had set up to help with the delinquency.
Management.
Yes. And then moved up from there.